How to deploy Lean Six Sigma in your organization. A question I was recently asked was on how to deploy Lean Six Sigma in a business. So the question goes, hi, I wanted to ask how you deployed Lean Six Sigma in your company. We're looking at how we'll do this by first conducting orientations, then an executive coaching of what Lean Six Sigma is, as well as having our managers get certified with Green Belt. I want to ask if having a project management plan and filling in PMP templates are necessary. Likewise, what will be the activities that you did to get the org's buy-in? What were your pains on implementing Lean Six Sigma, and any pointers and tips you may share? Thanks. One challenge we're facing is how to identify projects worthy of the DMAIC approach, since everything seems to be in the green light. Considering the product offered, we may only be able to apply Lean Six Sigma in our support services. These all boils down to our greatest risk, which is low buy-in in the organization. Well, this is actually a common problem faced by many employees, especially in corporate environments. The typical scenario is where you have people in lower to middle management who appreciate the Lean Six Sigma methodology but don't have the buy-in of senior leadership. Typical organizational bureaucracy. So, well, in my experience, having worked with various types of businesses specific to the service industry, I can talk about some of the challenges I have encountered in deploying continuous process improvement as a whole, inclusive of Lean Six Sigma. So, in the past, I've encountered organization leaders being completely resistant to change. Like when you start talking about project benefits that include freed up capacity and FTEs, these leaders get back to me and say stuff like, no, we're here trying to grow the business, and you're here talking about elimination, streamlining, automation, saving on FTEs. That's not what we want. So, especially here in the Philippines, where I'm currently based, cost of labor isn't that high, and that's actually one of the biggest reasons why Western countries outsource the jobs here. All these leaders I was speaking with at that time were after growth. So what's the best way to deploy continuous process improvement, including Lean Six Sigma in an organization? Based on my experience, the best way to do this is to follow DFSS, short for Design for Six Sigma, which follows the DMADV methodology. So that's define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. The first three are similar with the DMAIC methodology, but in the last two, instead of having an improve and control phase, which are primarily meant for improving an existing process, you have design and verify, which in this particular scenario you can use to deploy new processes into an existing business. The reason I would put DMADV methodology is because in the first three phases, define, measure, and analyze, you should be able to figure out the maturity level of the organization to assess what sort of continuous improvement tools and methodologies are applicable. As the saying goes, if you start fixing every problem with a hammer, you would end up treating everything else as if it were a nail. Similarly, you shouldn't force fit Lean Six Sigma into an organization if it doesn't need it. For example, one business where I've helped deploy continuous process improvement only needed a just do it initiative as well as Lean, but not exactly Six Sigma per se. But at the same time, they needed technology interventions, so Agile had to be deployed as well. In another business, they did need to deploy Lean Six Sigma since the maturity of the organization in terms of process improvement was high, and people were already able to achieve the targets but lacked consistency. So reducing variation through Six Sigma became key to success. Once you determine what's needed in terms of deployment of continuous improvement as a whole, there are several key elements that you should consider to help make the deployment process a success. In order of priority, these should be, number one, find business champions. You need top-down support to make this successful. Usually senior leadership would support initiatives that align to the business objectives. So usually if you can show benefits in terms of revenue or cost and other additional benefits such as customer, financial, regulatory impact, etc., you'd be able to get their buy-in. For those who are after growth, position the benefits in such a way that it would support the goal, such as through improving the learning curve of new hires, capacity optimization, shift optimization, etc. The other challenge would be how to get through middle-level managers who have no appreciation for continuous process improvement. Typically, these people have stereotyped Lean Six Sigma practitioners as terminators of jobs. It would be good to capture their critical to quality and help create initiatives around that. For example, one manager I got to speak with after getting a push from upper management for her to come up with process improvement initiatives within her space said to me, "Fine, but I'm not really looking forward to reducing my team size." So, working with her, we were able to get her in a position where she was able to ask for additional work outside of her team's current scope, which essentially allowed her to grow her team size as well as the work that came in, and this outweighed the freed up capacity that we were able to realize. This also allowed her team to be upskilled to the new tasks, which eventually led to a monetary increase in salary for her existing team members. Number 2, culture around continuous process improvement. This is the part where you should involve grassroots employees. Usually, you'll encounter a lot of hesitation at this level. People are concerned about their job security. So bear in mind, people adopt what they help build. So if employees feel they have a hand at how the business will be improved with their help, it will support it all the more. It would be best to have a problem and idea generation platforms where they can submit pain areas as well as ideas to improve their respective processes. They are the experts, as they are the ones who know the actual work and they're actually doing it. So these initiatives are usually low-hanging fruits that don't require much root cause analysis. Typically, these are already your just do it initiatives, so you just implement the action plan straight away. They also become your evangelists if they have been recognized for their efforts. Their colleagues would usually want to be recognized too. This will also happen, and this will open people's minds to selflessness, like how they can help make things easier for their customers and make it easier for employees to deliver that. So it would give a profound sense of fulfillment to be able to help customers as well as the overall well-being of the business as a whole, and they'll be recognized for their efforts. Number 3, available capacity to work on initiatives. You'll not be able to do the work on any projects at all if the organization does not have the capacity to do so in the first place. You would need available time of leaders, subject matter experts, and project team members to be able to make the process improvements happen. So if everyone is always all hands on deck, up to their necks with work, you might want to address your staffing problems as your first order of priority. Moreover, implementing projects would usually require pilot groups to be able to test potential solutions prior to mass implementation. This means the remaining staff outside of the pilot should still be able to deliver business as usual without any delays. Typically, what I say to people like this is, for those who want to improve their process but they say they don't have time, I just tell them, you have time to do it twice to fix your rework and defects, but you don't have time to make it right? Makes sense, right? So, in conclusion, based on my experience, the best way to deploy continuous process improvement, including Lean Six Sigma, into a business organization would be to utilize Design for Six Sigma that follows the DMADV methodology. That's define, measure, analyze, design, and verify in order for you to find out what sort of process improvement tools and frameworks will be applicable. Don't force fit a tool or methodology if the business does not require it. And there are 3 key elements that help ensure deployment will be successful. Find business champions, create a culture around continuous process improvement, and ensure there is available capacity to actually work on initiatives. Lastly, as you do the deployment, it would indeed help if you utilize a project management template or a work plan for you to establish your milestones. Who is responsible for what? For example, conducting trainings, roadshows, etc. Hope this helps, and if you need any help on upskilling people on Lean Six Sigma, I can help. Being a partner at GoLean6Sigma.com, we have the highest rated online Lean Six Sigma courses. For more information on the type of courses, who it's applicable to, pricing, check out RobbieAgustin.com/courses. And if you want a blueprint on how to optimize your process or business further, download my free, for a limited time only, ebook, The Business Optimization Blueprint, and start bringing the best value to your clients and stakeholders. Visit RobbieAugustine.com for more information on how to download it. Thank you and have a great day.